happens when you go to a restaurant and already one couple is there. And when you ask the waiter to bring your food quicker, then what does the waiter say? Well, he says that, sir, first come, first serve. Did you notice the mistake that I made over here? Well, it's not a colossal problem because in today's lesson, we are going to talk about 10 common errors that we make in English language. And without further going on, let me introduce myself. My name is Ayushman and I'm from Keep Learning Initiative. So now, let's rectify the common errors that we make. So without further ado, let's get started. Now the first one that I have for you is, I went to New York from an airplane. Okay, so over here, there is a grammatical error. So can you spot it? Well, it is from. Now instead of from, we will use by. So now you might be puzzled that, Ayushman, where to use from and where to use by? Well, I have the answer for you. So we use from with prepositions to and until to mark the beginning and ending point of an action that you do. So for example, we can say that mentors have to work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. Okay? So now let's have a look at the usage of by. Now by is a versatile preposition that is used in number of situations. We use by to show how something is done. So now let's have a look at an example for the usage of by. We send a postcard or post by postal service. Another example, we contact someone by phone or email. Okay, so this was about the usage of by and from. So now let's have a look at the sentence again. So now, from, you might be thinking that, Ayushman, there is to, the preposition to. Then why aren't we using from over here? Well, why? It is the reason. Because there were two conditions that needed to be satisfied. But only one condition is satisfied. That is that to is over here. But there is no initial and ending point of an action. Okay? So this was about, I went to New York from an airplane. So now, let's have a look at the next one. I made a complete 360-degree change in my life. Okay, so what's the correct one? Well, it is, I made a complete 180-degree change in my life. Now, people use this expression to show that they have completely, entirely changed from the way they used to be. But going 360-degree means that you have returned to the same spot from where you started. I'll also draw a diagram so that you can understand it. And now 180-degree. 180-degree means that you have completely changed from the way you used to be. So over here, this is you. And when you make a 360-degree, you reach at the same spot. And when you make a 180-degree turn, then you are completely opposite to 360-degree. Okay? So this was about, I made a complete 360-degree change in my life. So now, let's have a look at the next one. Pin drop silence. Okay, so when it is used? Well, this expression is used when a lot of children or a lot of people are making so much noise that it is so irritating, and then we end up saying pin drop silence. But it is wrong. Do you think why it is wrong? Because pin drop silence is meaningless. So what is the correct alternative for this? Well, it is, even a drop of pin must not be heard. So this means that even the noise that is made by a pin, well, that should also not be heard. Okay? So this was about pin drop silence. So now let's have a look at the next one. One in the same. Okay, so this is also a grammatical error. Here is a preposition and it needs to be replaced by a conjunction. So can you spot it? Well, it is this. And instead of in, we will use and. One and the same. Now we use this expression to talk about two identical or same things. So now let's have a look at an example for this expression, one and the same. The authors Richard Bachman and Stephen King are one and the same, which means that these two authors are completely same. Okay, so this was about one and the same. So now let's have a look at the next one. On the other hand. So now you might be guessing that, Ayushman, there is no mistake in this sentence. Very true. But what is the mistake? Well, the mistake is that many of the people forget to use on one hand in the initial part of the sentence and on the other hand in the ending part of the sentence. So now we use on one hand and on the other hand to talk about two different situations or two opposite ways of thinking. So let's have a look at an example for this expression. On one hand in initial part and on the other hand in the ending part. On one hand, Sushant wants a job that pays more, and on the other hand, he wants to do his work that can be enjoyed. So which means that on one hand, on first hand, Sushant wants a job that pays a lot, and on the other hand, Sushant wants to enjoy his work that he gets from his company. Okay? So this was about on one hand and on the other hand. So now let's have a look at the next one. First come, first serve. Well, just adding D in this makes it completely correct. And this was the mistake that I made in the beginning of the lesson. So now let's take the same example for it. So let's say that first couple who came at 8 a.m. and the second couple came at 8:30 p.m. And the second couple asked the waiter to bring their food faster or quicker than the first one. Then the waiter will say, sir, first come, first served. Not first come, first served. Okay? So please make sure you rectify these mistakes right now. So now let's have a look at the next one. He did good. Okay, the correct one for this is he did well. Now why I'm saying he did good is not right. So if you notice, good is an adjective and did is a verb. So have you ever heard adjective describing a verb? No, right? You have heard adverb describing a verb. So that's why this is wrong and this is right. Okay? So now with this only, so that you can understand it more clear, I have brought two sentences so that you can understand more clearly. So now let's have a look at those two sentences. The dog runs well and he is a good dog. Okay, so over here, runs is a verb and well over here is an adverb. So that's why this sentence is completely entirely correct, because adverb describes verb and that's what is being done over here. Now let's have a look at the other sentence. He is a good dog. Now good over here is an adjective and dog over here is a noun. So adjective is describing a noun. Noun is a naming word that names a person, place or thing. Okay? So this was about he did good. Correct is he did well. So now let's have a look at the next one. Irregardless. Okay, first of all, let me ask you, what is regardless? A thing which is without regard. And what is irregardless? Without regard? No, right? So that's when this becomes wrong. The prefix IR over here is wrong, because regardless on its own indicates that a thing which is without regard, and irregardless makes it wrong. So correct is regardless. Okay? So please make sure you do not make this mistake. So now let's have a look at the second last on the list today. Each and every. Okay, so let's take an example that there is a gigantic family, and over there is voting for food. It is just normal voting for food. So what they are doing, they are voting, and when they get the results, the head of the family will say each and every person will eat this dish. So that's when it becomes wrong. First of all, each on its own indicates that everyone or all the people, and every on its own indicates each or all the people in the room. Okay, so this was about each and every. So now let's have a look at the next and the last one on the list today. Reply back and revert back. Okay, so first of all, reply tells us that a person has asked you a question from email or face to face, and then you will approach that person and give him the answer. So reply or revert on its own indicates that you will approach the person and you will give the answer to it. So that's why back is not required. Okay, so you got that? Radical. So this was all for today. Thank you for watching my video, and please like, share and subscribe it. I'll be coming back with more new videos, and you keep studying and keep smiling. And now this is me, Ayushman, signing off.